Hello there, everybody. SeKo Starcraft coming back, having some wild berry cider with Swedish pear in it. Watching some funky replays coming at you here. These crazy Korean names at the top is actually Marineking versus Sase. Yeah. So a Z TVP at a very high level. Can't remember which tournament this is from. This is a game one of a best of three between these two players. Happened very recently. Been hoping to see a bit more out of Marineking lately. The guy is still super talented, but for some reason he's just not like that top level player that I remember growing up watching StarCraft as a young child 2 years ago when yes he was a big deal. Kind of came from the same era as I am MVP. MVP just happened to become one of the most successful StarCraft players ever. And Marineking just kind of was amazing, but hasn't regained that form. He had that great popularity. I remember there was a tournament that he couldn't afford to get to, or they weren't going to get sent to, and Reddit actually helped get him there. Guy's super popular, super cool, does some fun strats, always changes things up. But like I said, hasn't really been on top of his game. So I'm going to sit back and have some of my... I can't even pronounce the name of this Swedish cider that I'm having, but it's a 7% alcohol, so it's getting the job done. On this side, early gas and barracks, so expecting just some Reaper play coming out here swing on. You're not going to find many people with better control, obviously, than Marineking, so his Reapers are obviously deadly. A lot of Chrono Boost saved up over here, so I'm expecting this to maybe go and be applied very quickly into a Cybernetics core when it goes down. And maybe we're going to have pressure going the other direction there. Maybe we'll see a good old historic 4-gate, or maybe the also fashionable 3-gate play. No, actually into a really fast reactor. Interesting. I've been starting to see this a little bit as well. People start doing this to get out extra marines and expand behind it. So that way they can maybe go for some kind of early 2-base pressure, 8 to 10 marines. Against a protoss with maybe 1 or 2 stalkers, you can sometimes get in a ton of damage. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the mothership core come out fairly soon as well. Now he's using his Chrono Boost, and he's using it on his mothership core. Hasn't got the gas yet. Did he just double Chrono Boost that? So loudly. Maybe this was played in person or something. I'm not too sure exactly what that means, but that Chrono Boost looks a little... Oh no, that's where I got spammed. That makes sense. So we are going to see some sort of early BS pressure. The difference is because we had the reactored... Ooh. This is funny. There's absolutely nothing right now that can shoot down this mothership core. Until maybe he gets out himself a missile turret. Quick pull on the SCV. Obviously wants to get down that zealot. The stalker's probably going to be able to come in here and at least kill this SCV and cancel it. Mothership core is coming in, and it's actually probably going to be able to get a handful of kills here. No, run away. I actually think that's pretty decent for Marineking there. I actually only end up losing 1 SCV and 1 Marine to this, and he loses the mothership core. That's unfortunate. Sase is pretty far behind right now, I'd say. What's coming out? Twilight? Yes, it is a Twilight. And he's going to delay the expansion even further. Back on this side. Still 1 stalker kicking around. I apologize, my mouse has been kind of wonky here. Got 2 kills on it, so that's not too bad. But it might get intercepted here by these. I figured he would have sent the Reapers after it, knowing that it's so low in health. Lots of racks, factory. So I love this position Marineking is in. He's got his expansion up sooner. His tech is good. The Twilight Council is nice. We haven't seen what he wants to use with this yet. I thought maybe he'd be going into some sort of late DT pressure, but with the engineering bay down, it wouldn't be too hard for Marineking to be able to get something out to stop that. Good chunk of Marines. Great map control out for Marineking. Really, he's got nothing to worry about. With those 2 Reapers out, these Stalkers have to stay at home, just to make sure that it's not going to sneak in and kill some probes. It would be worthwhile to get out another mothership core, just to be able to have... Oh, he's already got another one out. Well, that makes it even easier then. Stimpack, starport, a reactor as well. More tech labs. Pretty safe at this point, pretty safe. Economy is tied. Neither player managed to do a lot of economic damage. The only difference is that there is a double command center out for our Terran player with double mules. So our income from him is considerably higher, even if the gas is on the same amount. It's amazing what mules do. Couple Marines just at home chilling out. You can kind of be a bit of a dick with a handful of Stalkers in the mothership core. Coax out some Marines, hit them with a time warp, pick them off while they slow down. There's no concussive shells out or anything like that. Once the medevacs are out, though, it's not really going to do much good to have that pressure at the front. Stim will be done here pretty soon, and then he's got to watch out that that army doesn't get trapped and killed off. So we do have that blink on the way. This is going to be a very gateway-focused army. 5-gate blink. Still a very strong army, but against a medevac-supported group with Stim, I don't think this composition is going to work. He's just not going to be able to get the numbers out of these Stalkers to really utilize Blink Micro well enough. Looks like he was about to start concussive shells and then cancelled it there for a second. That's kind of surprising. Against Blink, concussive shells might not be as useful. Killing that factory would be useful, though. So, pretty straightforward move out here. I think he's probably going to be rallying a lot of his units to the front. Yeah, all of his units now get rallied. He's going to go for a killing blow here. I'm sure Sase smells this. He's returning home with his units. But oh, he isn't getting the Dark Shrine as well. If we look at the units tab, he's got 4 Stalkers to 16 Marines and 5 Marauders and medevacs in support. So these 5 gates are finishing up, and they're going to let him get out a little bit here. But with having the medevacs in tow and the Stim finished, I don't think he's going to stop this. He is going to have, obviously, the Photon Overcharge. Great bait. Photon Overcharge goes down too prematurely. And now he can just go into the main base and go for the drop, because the Photon Overcharge has already been spent. Does focus down one of the medevacs. It's very worthwhile. Actually gets both medevacs. Getting the Zealots in right now. Obviously very important to tank damage at the front. Marineking knows he can't run away down the front because of the Photon Overcharge anyways. Pretty good Blink Micro. Those units probably don't need to be there. He's gonna have to stop rallying to the front here. He doesn't quite have the army. Pretty good hold there by Sase. I think that turned out pretty good for him. Sniping down those medevacs is obviously very good. Marineking's gonna have to stim up for a fight. Audio sounded kind of weird on that. This gets one Stalker for his troubles. And the army goes back home again. So that was kind of a flop attack there from Marineking. Sase actually does take a supply lead. But I don't think he's super worried. The composition of just Stalkers here isn't quite good enough. Though he might be able to do some dicking around. I don't think Sase can commit to this. Ooh, with the DTs though. I do like that. This Sim City might help him out a lot, but there isn't any detection down here. Morphing in that to the Archon, I think that's a very smart move. A couple SCVs come out here to tank some damage, it's very worthwhile. This Archon's about to bust open. Gets sniped immediately. More DTs. Don't know if he's got any scans available. Not quite yet on this base. I like this kind of pressure actually from Sase. The DT pressure is, I think, very worthwhile. Wow. and both of those get sniped. That's a pretty big commitment there out of Sase on those DTs. I think he really hoped for a little bit more than that. They are pinning the Terran at home. The production capacity right now from the Terran player is pretty heavy though. That's a lot of production buildings. Yeah, pretty good. 7 gateways. No robo facility yet or anything of that nature. We haven't had any Templar archives. There it is. Now, as I say, he's going to have to get down to some sort of splash damage at some point. It's pretty much unavoidable. 2-2 on the way on this side. We don't even have a forge down, I think, for our... No, we don't have any upgrades on the way for our Protoss player. Pretty unfortunate, but you got to make a choice as a Protoss player of which way you're going to go. His choice was to try to tech up into this DTs and Blink. That obviously cost him some of his upgrades. Charge will be quite useful. But unless you have a lot of zealots... Ooh. Doom drop. The Protoss player doesn't have any idea that this is happening. We'll see how much he can really get done here. There's still a pretty good sized army for the Protoss player. Oh, it just got caught out of position. Killing off a factory. He's going for the Mega Snipe. He's going to get the Mega Snipe. Killing off that Twilight Council would be pretty worthwhile as well if he actually is paying attention. Seeing that it is upgraded something right now. He's not focusing it, he just happens to be shooting it because he got units in the back. I think Sase's pretty much dead here regardless, even if that does finish. The well upgraded army on this side, pretty good Blink micro, but the Marauders with the concussive shells. Medevacs that are all out of energy, but they're here regardless. Oh, DT's in the mix. That helps. Well, does have a third base, second base. He lost his main base. I think Sase's a little flustered from that there. Pretty understandable. He does have his double forges down now, but he can't really afford to do anything right there. He doesn't have any army. Units-wise, he's got 2 Stalkers and 2 DTs. So it's not like he's going to be able to come back at that. Oh, but look at the economy row. I mean, at least Sase has kept up pretty good in the workers, only down by 6. We're going to get into this third base. A very easy third base from the Terran. Once he gets up, he has, what to say, a few more units and recovers a little bit more energy on the medevacs. He's just going to push right out again. Storm's on the way, but I don't even expect it to finish by the time Terran player gets to the front of this base. I liked what Sase was doing, but, you know, that Blink play is fantastic. Just... couldn't grit through the size of this Terran army here. I think he anticipated getting a bit more damage done with that Blink Stalker opening. Cutting all of his tech, his economy into getting that Blink Stalker. Oh, that'd have been a nice snipe if he could get something like that. He does get the High Templar. So, finish. Storm does finish. It's already up to 3-3 for the Terran that's in production. 0-0 for all of the Protoss units. They are just melting. That's it's a pretty good straightforward game there. It's a pretty good straightforward game for Marineking. Just a pretty good opening. I do like the double Reaper expand. I mean, obviously coming in with that early pressure from the Protoss did make things a bit more difficult. But those double Reapers just make it so hard for your opponent to really push out and do anything because you can shoot down the probes. They need to have those Stalkers at home to defend, letting him get up his economy into the right spot. And even the DTs. Cool little play, but it wasn't likely against a player of this caliber that was just going to happen to win out. Game 1 goes to Marineking.